Welcome to the MemberWise Best Practice series. This video is brought to you today by the MemberWise Network, the leading free-to-join best practice network for membership and association professionals. We hope that you enjoy this great presentation, and for further information about our growing network, please visit www.memberwise.org.uk.
Right, good morning everybody. True to the nature of caravanners who are quite nomadic, I like to roam around, so I don't want to stand by the lectern, so I apologise to the cameraman. I'm going to make life a little bit more difficult. Thank you to Richard for inviting us. I'm really the warm-up act because Natalie's going to come on and talk about web chat. It's her sort of baby. She introduced it to the Caravan Club. It's not necessarily a remarkable story. It's more a case of something you might like to think about if you don't already use web chat within your own organisation, and some tips and things we've learned as part of implementing it. As Richard said, I'm the head of operations. My basic role is to look after the admin of the membership side of the club, but also to run the National Contact Centre, which when I joined 5 years ago was primarily based on just inbound calls. What we've tried to do over the last 5 years is, as it says up there, make life easier for our members, allowing them to contact us and talk to us when they want and how they want. And web chat has been very much part of that. My background, I spent 25 years in financial services, mainly with NatWest Bank. Joined the club, as I say, 5 years ago. And much of what I've done is lead people through change. And web chat is a change in the way that you do things. So hopefully you'll find this interesting. You'll find some things to take away. Why we're actually here doing this presentation today, as Richard said, we came to a conference, I think it was January, February of this year, and they handed out in the afternoon session some really good information off the back of the Harnessing the Web survey which had taken place. But we were a bit surprised because in that there was absolutely no mention of web chat. And for probably 2 or maybe even 3 years in contact centre forum environments, web chat was the next big thing. It was being talked about by everybody. If you hadn't got it, you weren't there. So I went and spoke to Richard afterwards and said, what about web chat? To which he and I think Heather at the time said, good point. Do you want to come and present at the next session? Which seemed like a really good idea at the time. But I guess there's a lesson there, which is be careful what questions you ask at the end of these sessions. So. But it's lovely to be here today anyway. So I just want to give you a little bit of background about the Caravan Club. Some of you may not know these facts. So we were established well over 100 years ago. We're very proud of our heritage. We're not just about caravans, we're also about motorhomers, people who have tents, trailer tents. And we are a members club in the true sense of the word. So we have an executive committee, which is members appointed by members. We have regional groups, we have centres all around the country. Basically, members make up the large proportion of what the club does. However, there are a number of paid employees, of which I and Natalie are 2 of them. So, interestingly, when I joined the club 5 years ago and I was looking for different opportunities, I had never done caravanning before, and I assumed the Caravan Club was a couple of people in a shed at the bottom of a field somewhere, because I had no appreciation of the size of the organisation. But actually, as you can see there are over 350 staff in head office, about 1,000 staff across the country. We own about 200 of our own sites. There are about 2,500 other sites which members of the club have exclusive access to. And we do sell and offer a range of products and services. So we're not just about joining as a member. There's loads of benefits our members get. Access to our sites, yes, but they can also go overseas to overseas sites, and we provide ferry bookings for them. We sell insurance products, loads of different things, provide advice to members in all the things that they want to do, caravanning and motorhome related. Now, this is something you may not know, and when we spoke to Richard about consumer organisations, so we have 350,000 individual memberships, just to give you some scale of it. But that's individual membership, so there are then joint members and family members associated with those memberships. So we represent about 1 million people who invest something like £400 million a year into local economy. Now, on that basis of 1 million, 70 million roughly in the population, there should be a few people who are members of the Caravan Club or have been or know someone who is within this audience. This is always a dangerous thing for me to ask, but I'll just check. So this is where I have to go. My name is Peter Martin. I am a caravaner. Is anybody else out there a member of the Caravan Club or knows anyone that has been? Yeah. Oh, we've got at least 3. So there you go. The law of averages does work. So it's great. So it's good to have some people that maybe can relate to this personally as well. Thank you for putting your hands up, by the way. So we have a national contact centre. We have 140 agents sat in that centre. And as I say, 5 years ago, web chat didn't exist. Natalie has helped to bring it to life, and we're going to talk you through that story a little bit today. Most of those agents are multi-skilled, as it says up there. In terms of call volumes, again, just a bit more perspective. We take just over 500,000 calls a year. And as a club, we're over 100 million turnover. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, hang on a minute, this is not at all what I was expecting or different scale, so therefore, how is web chat applicable to me? But the thing about web chat is it's very scalable. And when Natalie's up here talking to you, you will see we haven't got vast numbers of people doing this. You don't need vast numbers of people. It's more just about providing people with the opportunity to interact with you in that way. So I'm going to get off stage. I've done the boring intro, and I'm going to let Natalie talk you through some of the detail.
Hello, everybody. Right, okay, as Peter said, I was tasked with setting up web chat 5 years ago. I'm actually a contact centre manager and manage insurance, so web chat was a new thing for me, and I wasn't quite sure how we were going to do this. But I'll do some background in a bit, but basically we looked at the reasons why. So why would you use web chat? Well, web chat makes you easy to do business with. The members, non-members, prospective members are on your website, so that's telling you that's how they want to interact with you. So if they want to interact with you in that way, they're on your website, you need to be there to help them. Websites are becoming more and more complex. We have as Peter said, we do a number of different products, from insurances, travel, etc., technical advice, etc. So really, there's a lot of complicated transactions to do, a lot of information to gain. So web chat really does make you easy to do business with, and it provides that additional contact, channel of contact for your members. It enhances their web journey, so it makes things a lot easier for them if you are engaging in web chat. I don't know how many of you know, but through statistics, how many of your members or non-members actually drop out of your website at different stages through a process. We did some work with LivePerson, who's our provider, that I'll come to in a bit, and it was quite scary, the amount of people that actually drop out of your website that you have no visibility of at all. By having web chat on there, you really gain more of those people. You lose far less interaction. One of my challenges that Peter set me when he tasked me with this was to reduce our call and email volume. And the reason for this was we wanted to try and get rid of all the non-necessary contact via the phone and email, and just concentrate on the more complex things that we really had to do by phone. So he tasked me with reducing those volumes as well. Web chat is expected now. All the big providers, so Sky, O2, British Gas, BT, although theirs isn't actually as good as I thought it would be when I used it the other day. But all of the big names and the big websites are using web chat to help their visitors through their experience. And it does demonstrate forward thinking as well. So a bit of history. I mentioned LivePerson. I don't know if any of you have heard of them. They are one of the largest and most respected providers of web chat. They weren't the cheapest, I won't lie, but we looked at some of the other providers and some of the functionality just didn't seem up to what we wanted for our members. We're a very high respected organisation, and our members have really high expectations, so we wanted to make sure if we were providing something new to them that we did it in a really professional way that met their needs and did what we wanted. So we bit the bullet and went with LivePerson. As I said, we introduced it in 2010. We played with it from 2010 to 2013. We literally only used it when our call volumes and email volumes were low and we had agents sitting around and we could afford to move that resource away from phones and email. It became clear that web chat was a very, very worthwhile service to our members. More and more members were asking for it, were coming onto the website, were phoning up and saying, I was on web chat yesterday, it's not available today, what's going on? So we decided to run an evening trial in October and November 2014 because we realised that was when our website is at its busiest, and we thought, right, okay, if we can hit those members when they're on our website, we're going to reduce the email and call volumes the following days. And that proved really successful. So we actually managed, via the heads of department, the directors, to have dedicated resource from January this year. So we are very seasonal. January is extremely busy with travel. March, insurance and UK sites really hot up, and we are flat out then to September, mid-September, and then we start to die down again. So for them to agree for us to have web chat running every day with dedicated resource was quite a challenge, really, but we managed it. But they did set me a target of 20,000 chats in the year, which I'll come on to later. Quarter four, I think it was July this year, Peter said to me, right, okay, I want you to run web chat from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. every night. Don't care how you do it, no overtime, just do it. So that was another quite challenging one, but we've done it, and I'll talk a bit more about how we've done that later on. LivePerson actually upgraded their platform last week. We upgraded, excuse me, with them last week. Up until that point, we weren't very mobile or tablet friendly with web chat. So this new platform we've introduced, and it is really mobile and tablet friendly. So our chat volumes are increasing, which is brilliant. So how does web chat work? You can see our lovely buttons up there. I didn't design those, by the way. So there's two ways of engaging in a chat. You have a button on your pages of your website, and members or non-members can click on the button if they want to engage in chat with you, and then it goes straight through to an agent. And there's proactive chats. Proactive chats, you need a little bit more involvement with your IS department, your .NET teams, because what you do is you put hooks into your website. For example, if somebody's sitting on an insurance page for 120 seconds, 180 seconds, or they receive an error message, or they're going back over pages, that tells you they're having problems. So it gives you an idea of where to put hooks into your website, and if your members or non-members hit those hooks, hit the trigger points, a chat window will appear for them to engage in chat if they want to. If they don't want to, it's simple for them to say just no thank you. Web chat helps you identify your pain points in your website. You can see how many members or non-members are hitting those trigger points, which tells you, okay, I've got a problem here, I need to look at the website. All of our members are hitting this point and stopping, which is why web chat's appearing. So it really gives you a good visibility of where your pain points on your website are. LivePerson has the functionality of a pre-chat survey. Some of you may want to use that, some of you may not. We use it only on one of our pages, which is our Contact Us page. The reason we do that is because web chat's a very intelligent tool, and you can see what pages your members are on, so you know roughly what their chat's going to be about. contact us page could be about absolutely anything. So you have no idea what chat that's going to be about or what the members or non-members issues are. So you don't know which agents to direct them to. So we do have the pre-chat survey on that page, and that's intelligently linked into the skill sets of the agents so that you can direct the chat to the right people. You also have the visibility of the members' complete journey, so you can see every single page of your website they visited up to the point they engage in chat. So again, that's a really useful tool to know where they've been and what their query might be about. Web chat also, particularly with live person, it's not there all the time. The buttons and the proactive chats will only appear if you've got agents online and agents available. So you're not delivering a poor experience to any of your visitors. They're not being offered it if there's no one there. I don't know if any of you have ever used web chat, but I said earlier I was on one a few weeks ago, and I entered into web chat and it said, "Thank you for choosing web chat. Please be patient, one of our agents will be with you shortly." I think I got that message 4 times before an agent actually came online, and that's quite annoying. So this one doesn't do that. And the exit survey is extremely useful. I will go into that in a bit more detail further on, but that's a really valuable tool. So what lessons did we learn? Quite a few, actually, along the way. I assumed that my best phone agents would also be my best web chat agents. I was very wrong. That's not the case at all. One particular agent of mine, I keep pushing her to progress herself, to go for team leader, trainer, and all these positions, because she is amazing on the phone. She has the most amazing rapport with the members, and if I could clone her, I would. She's an amazing phone agent. She absolutely hates web chat, and she's not very good at it either. So, don't be fooled into thinking your best phone agents will be your best web chat agents. They won't be. Know your website. That was one of our key learnings to start with. A lot of our agents know their products, they know their information, they're multi-skilled, they're brilliant at what they do, but actually they didn't know how to navigate around the website properly and effectively to be able to know where the members have been, know where members are going, and know what the queries are about. So if somebody was engaging in chat saying, "Oh, I saw an offer in your magazine last week, I can't find it on your website," you need to be able to know where that is and how you find that information. Review your hooks regularly. If you are doing proactive chat, members want to make sure the chats are relevant. So if you've changed your website in any way, if you've had any enhancements made, make sure your hooks are still relevant. What you don't want to do is be triggering a chat with somebody who's quite happy along their journey, completing their transaction and doesn't need any help. You need to be getting to the visitors on the website that are struggling, that you could lose if you don't interact with them. And enhance your website using the feedback, as that said. Flexibility. This isn't me, I'm not that flexible. It gives you the ability of serving multiple members. So when you've got phone agents, they can only deal with one call at any one time. Web chat's very different. Web chat is a conversation that's written. It's not an email, it's not a letter. You don't use the "Dear Sir, Madam" or anything like that. If you would say to somebody, "Fantastic, thank you very much," that is what you type. It is a conversation. So it gives your agents time when your visitors are responding, they can deal with more than one chat. Now, all of our agents currently are on 3 concurrent chats, up to 3. But if you're only serving one product or on your membership join pages, for example, or something like that, your agents could take up to 4 or 5 chats at any one time. So it's a much more cost-effective way of interacting with your visitors. Provides the ability of home working. Now, I talked about this a little bit earlier when Peter said to me in July, "I want you to run web chat from 9 till 9. I thought, okay, how am I going to do this with no overtime costs as well? So we came up with the plan of, not just me, one of my team leaders as well, of thinking, right, so we need to do this differently. So we ran web chat, decided to run web chat from 9 till 1 in the office, and then we decided to run it from 1 till 9. But we realised very quickly that the agents wouldn't be very receptive to that if they've got to come in to the office from 1 p.m. till 9 o'clock at night. So what we decided to do, because this is a web-based application, you can use it anywhere. It doesn't have to be in your office environment. So we thought, right, working from home, it's going to be much more popular with the agents. No travelling costs, no parking costs, no having a shower and getting ready for work. You can do it in your pyjamas. And it actually, I was hoping in our contact centre of 140, I've got 36 web chat trained agents. I was hoping for about 10 to volunteer to do a rotation basis working from home. I actually got 33 volunteers. So it was very, very popular, and it's going on now and they love it. It also gives you business continuity planning. So if for any reason your offices are out of bounds, if you've got adverse weather conditions, whatever it might be, if your phones are down, you can still serve your members. You can have as many people as you want on web chat, and you can be hitting those members so your business doesn't stop. It can continue running via that service. So that's really useful. It's easy to turn on and off. It's the click of a button, so you can switch it on and off easily, which means you can flex your agents between calls, emails, web chat, depending on your demand. If you've got particular offers going on that are only applicable to the website, you can just put as many agents as you like onto web chat, which meets then the demand. So it's very flexible in that one. And as I've proved, it gives you the ability of changing your working hours. Right, we were meant to swap people at this point, but unfortunately Laura couldn't make it today, so I'm doing her bits as well. Reports. One of the things Laura was going to say is LivePerson can probably tell you what your visitors had for breakfast. Their reporting system is amazing. I have never seen a reporting system like it. You can literally get reports on absolutely anything. We chose to report on agent login and availability time. We chose to report on utilisation, so we can see the percentage of time that our agents are on web chat, what percentage of their time is utilised and what isn't. So that helps you with your forecasting and know how many agents you need on web chat at any one time. We obviously report on volume, which I'll come to in a bit. Conversion rates. It can track literally every visitor you have engaged with along the way and whether their visit results in a transaction or not for any of your products. So and we have noticed enhancement in our conversion rates on the website. We still don't convert as highly as we do over the phones, but they are certainly much better than they were before. The exit survey results, again, I'm going to come to in a little bit, but the survey allows you to track the change in call and email volumes, which is really useful. The demand reports, LivePerson can actually give you a demand report to tell you how many agents you would have needed on web chat at any one time, even when you haven't got web chat switched on. So 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, they can tell you where your demand is highest. Our demand's actually highest at 10 o'clock at night, believe it or not, but my agents weren't keen on working at that time of night, so we managed to get them to 9 o'clock, but that was it. Okay, volume. We started in 2010 with 3 web chat licenses. In the first couple of years, we were completing around 5,500 chats a year. In 2013, that almost doubled. 2014, it arose to just over 11,000. So my target of 20,000 in 2015, we thought was going to be high. By the end of September, we completed nearly 28,000. So Peter very kindly set us a revised target of 40,000. And when we left the office yesterday, we were at about 31,500 chats this year. So we're well on our way to completing our target. And all of that, we're averaging about 2.8 agents on web chat at any one time. So as Peter alluded to earlier, the number of people you need on web chat is not as high as you think it is to reach those sorts of volumes. So the impact that's had basically is a 10.97% reduction in call volumes and a 13.7% reduction in email volumes. I can't hand on heart say all of the phone volume reduction has been down to web chat, because we've had website enhancements and things like that as well, but certainly a lot of it is as a result of web chat. But the email volume is. We can say that. We do know that's as a result of having web chat on. And it's a much more effective way of serving your members. If they're on your website, an email, some people have 4-hour, 8-hour, 24, 72-hour turnarounds on emails. You're actually dealing with their query there and then, so it's an instant resolution, which is brilliant. So the survey results, the exit survey. Now, we've actually had about 11,000 exit survey results from members and non-members so far this year, which is a brilliant amount. We set a target. We wanted an 80% success rate. So as you can see from this, we actually have an 86% of our members are saying they receive an excellent or great service. There is also a good option, but we don't want to be good. We want to be excellent and great. So, those results are amazing. 84% of their members said their query was resolved to their satisfaction. Again, there was another option there. We've only gone for the highest, so we set our sights high. 55 of the visitors said they would have called us had we have not engaged in web chat that day. So that's how you can see it will reduce your call volumes. And 20% of them said they would have emailed us. So those results have really proved that web chat is definitely worthwhile as a channel of contact. So in terms of web chat and the presentation, that's really all I've got to say. If you have any questions afterwards, Peter and I are both around for the rest of the day. But that's it. Thank you.
Okay. I don't know if one of you'd like to come to the bar just for a quick chat, if that's all right. Quick chat. But in terms of web chat, I mean, one of the things, I remember certainly within the retail world, that web chat really took off quite early, and I remember having an absolutely awful experience. I think it was on the Comet website. And the web stuff, it just kept popping up. Do you want to talk? Do you want to talk? It's just like, no, I just actually want to, have a look around. So when you were choosing where you placed them, did you kind of have like a kind of a member's head on, or we're talking about user experience today? Yeah. How did you go through that process of choosing?
Thank you. Basically, we took a lot of advice from LivePerson. They are a really large provider. And we were very conscious that we didn't want to become annoying and in your face. So we looked at the positioning on the website of the chat windows, so to the side, not slap bang in the middle, because there's nothing more annoying when you're trying to read something that you've got a web chat popping up and you can't get rid of it. So we were very conscious of, one, the positioning, and two, when we were offering chats. We actually set some of the time limits quite lengthy. So, for instance, our travel pages, to go through a travel booking is quite a complex process, and it's not uncommon to be on the page for 4 or 5 minutes. So we decided not to offer web chat until sort of 6, 7, 8 minutes. And we tweaked those times as well, depending on the responses we were getting. So you look at your acceptance rate versus your chats, and you sort of gauge it from there. But LivePerson were brilliant. They helped us along the way.
I was just going to add something to that, which is it's quite interesting how reactive members are to very small changes as well in the buttons that you use. We tried a few quirky things when you saw some of the imagery up there earlier. We tried to make it a bit fun. Members hated it. It was unbelievable. We were trying to be a bit more modern, and they were just, no, we want the more traditional. And even if somebody's looking left compared to if they're looking right, makes a huge difference. It really was quite amazing. So you have to play with it and ask your own members what they like and get feedback from them.
And in terms, you said that one of the most recent developments over the past couple of weeks was obviously that you were making the content much more mobile friendly, if you like, for kind of mobile devices. Based on obviously the nature of the organisation, are you kind of preparing yourselves for a lot of people to be out and about wanting your support? How are you going to deal with that?
Yeah, one of the things I was going to say at the outset, missed off the sort of statistics, was we've got probably, so far year to date, the end of September, we had about 10 million hits on our website, 77 million web page visits. About 63% of those are by mobile devices, and you're quite right, Richard, by nature of our membership, they're often out caravanning, so they're prolific users of tablets and smartphones. So to actually have this upgrade that makes it much more mobile friendly, you can move between web pages and web chat much more easily, I think will enhance the experience and will probably give us more interaction by web chat, almost certainly, yeah. The other great thing is it offers us a co-browsing capability, which means you can start to take control of the member's phone and tablet. Ooh, it's getting a bit spooky now, isn't it? We can take control of their PC, so if they're on your website and they're struggling, with their permission, you can actually go in and actually help them navigate. And the one key thing which I would stress to people is people talk a lot about self-service and driving everyone to the web, and it's the most cost-effective way. We look at things a little bit differently. We talk about assisted service, and I would encourage you to think about that as well. If you're going to push everyone to your website, that's fine, but some people will want help and support and will have questions. And I'm sure you've all found the most frustrating thing is when you then spend 5 minutes trying to find a contact number or somebody that will speak to you. Web chat gives you the opportunity to assist them when they get stuck without necessarily having to deal with phone calls.
This is my final question, and this is typical question from someone. I'm originally from Grimsby, so I'm when it comes to seeing, you know, what happens, are you getting, because I mean, obviously, like with people on the phone, they're interacting with you personally. I mean, are you finding that you're getting kind of silly conversations happening, or is there anything that you really, how do you deal with a stupid conversation? And I'm not going to go into any more detail. What do you do?
We've had some dodgy conversations there's typical responses that you use with things like that. But we don't tend to have many daft conversations or silly questions, but what you do have with this is the facility that your supervisor can take it over. So if we've got agents on web chat that they're struggling or the members are just not understanding what they're saying, we can just literally take that chat over straight away and engage in it, and the agent disappears from it, we take it over. So
and in terms of the actual conversations as well, do you keep those conversations?
Yeah.
And just in case, how does
that
work?
We keep all the conversations, and we actually do transcript reviews with all of our agents. So we use, like you would monitor your agents on the phones and assess their calls, listen to their calls and score them. We do exactly the same with web chat. So we pull off normally 15 to 20 web chats per month per agent, and we go through what they could have done better, what they did really well, how the conversation worked, you know, and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's really valuable.
Okay, well, on behalf of the conference, thank you for your session. That was really, really interesting. And I think there's going to be a lot more membership bodies providing this kind of functionality in the future. So on behalf of the conference, thank you for your session. Thank you.